Hello and welcome to this DVD, 1d6 Universal. Well, the title may seem slightly mystifying at first. What this DVD is about is if you have a defence against e4 with d6, and the most obvious one is the Piet's defence, which I covered in a previous DVD, where you go d4, knight f6, knight c3, and now g6. That's the Piet's defence. Or you can have other defences, e4, d6, d4, knight f6, knight c3, and now one of these check defences, or what Tartakova used to call the Proto-Indian, say with e5, or with c6, or with knight bd7, intending to go e5, and these often lead into a kind of Philidor defence. If you play any of these things against e4, then you can also get a defence against d4 and everything else by playing 1d6. And so that means effectively that after d4 you don't have to play a Nimzo or King's Indian or whatever. You can just play 1d6 because you're not afraid of white transposing into an e4 opening by going to e4. So that's what this DVD is about, and I'll give you a brief rundown of the material I'll be covering. First of all, one of white's main moves in this position is to go to c4, and then we're going to play e5, and that leaves white with a choice. He can play this knight out to f3 when we attack the knight with e4. He can also play his knight out to c3 when we're going to play e takes d4. He can also play the move pawn onto d5, and another possibility is d takes e5, which leads to the exchange of queens, but not unfavourable endgame at all for black, in fact one in which he's got winning chances. And he can also play e3. So we'll be covering these in different chapters. On the second move, he can stop us playing e5 by playing 2 knight f3. And then I'm going to show you a defence that I've been quite involved with over my own career, which is to go 2 g6, c4, bishop g7, and then when white plays knight c3, I played bishop g4 in quite a number of games. I'm going to show you all my little tricks in that line. White can also play g3 in this position when we're going to play the move c5. And going to the second move, white has got some other alternatives. He can play, say, 2 g3. He can play 2 bishop g5, or 2 knight c3. So these are some of white's possibilities there. And then on the first move, we can use our universal defence to give us a defence against the English. Well, when white plays c4, we could, if we're going to be really hard line about this, go 1 d6 followed by e5, but we might as well play e5 followed by d6 on the second move, which transposes into some of the lines where white played d4. Say we go here, then this would transpose into a line from a previous chapter. So c4, e5, knight c3, d6. White's also got knight f3 when we play f5, and then if he plays d4 we go e4, and we can again transpose into something we considered in an earlier chapter. White can also play bishop g5 in that position. And then on the first move, another option for white, another flank opening, which we can meet with our universal defence, is 1 knight f3, when we play, of course, d6. And we want to play e5 on the next move. So white would possibly stop that by going d4, which again transposes into one of the d4 lines. And he can also play, say, g3, when we would play e5, and again get some pawns into the centre, which is one of the themes of d6. And there's a few other moves as well, where, say, white plays 1b3, and then we can go e5, follow the next move by d6, and even against, say, b4, or even f4, we can also go d6 and get in our universal defence. So that's what this DVD is about, and we'll kick off in the next chapter with one of the main lines, which has been played by a number of GMs with white when they've had to face this, and I'll show you what I think black should do.